right there is a really good example of why drive rush eating inputs is fucking stupid, because I actually knew he was going to drive rush right there. I pressed stand fierce to preemptively check it before it even started, and the drive rush freeze ate my heavy punch input. Tried it again right there. I pressed stand heavy kick to check that. I'm getting really unlucky right now. I'm getting like textbook drive rush freeze eating input situations. I'm sure there's some obscure situation that necessitates the drive rush freeze that we all just don't know about. The drive rush freeze needs to exist because otherwise drive rush would be like literally unreactable. Let me show you something after this match. Show us the drive rush without freeze. Oh yeah, I was gonna do that, wasn't I? I think this is one of the things that like needs to be talked about more, is the way that people will offer suggestions for how to improve this game, but don't really understand that Street Fighter 6's system mechanics are so like interlinked that every single change that you request is going to have insane knock-on consequences. Let me just see if I can find the clip, because I dug it up about a week ago. Alright, so this is Kioma uploaded a clip where he basically took footage of Street Fighter 6, but just edited out the drive rush freeze from the footage to show what it would look like if this game had no drive rush freeze. Ready? Yeah, this is what you'd be dealing with in neutral. You guys think you can react to that? You guys think you're checking that on reaction? The 16 frame grab from 2/3 screen? Bearing in mind, in Street Fighter 5, the 15 frame grabs were considered unreactable in that game. And in Street Fighter 5, you would do a 15 frame dash, and then you would press a button afterwards. So even if you pressed a 3 frame after the 15 frame dash, effectively that's like an 18 frame attack, right? So an 18 frame attack in neutral was basically unreactable, or like extremely hard to react to. This is 16 frames. This is a 16 frame grab. Or if they did jab instead of grab, it would be 15 frames, because it's 11 frames before you're actionable out of drive rush. So it's 11 frames of forward movement, and then the attack starts. You are not reacting to that. I'm sorry, it's not doable. So this is the reason why the drive rush freeze exists. Because here's the other thing. This is what I'm talking about with like people not really appreciating how interlinked the mechanics are. Because people will see this and say, okay, maybe we get rid of the drive rush freeze, but what we do is we slow down the actual drive rush. So get rid of the freeze, but make this part of it slower. And it's like, okay, well, if you do that, you've now completely ruined the combo structure of the entire game. Because every single character, or most of the cast's juggles, are designed around drive rush being the speed that it is. So like, for example, with Aki, if I do this into this, that combo no longer works if drive rush is a single frame slower. If they slow down the drive rush, all of Aki's juggles now stop working. So then you say, okay, well, to fix that, we now have to make Aki's normals launch even higher to accommodate for the slower drive rush. And if you do that, then you might have accidentally added an entirely new combo that was completely unintended, because this now launches higher to accommodate for the drive rush. You might be able to do this into this because they've got more airtime. So do you see what I'm saying? Like, you change one small thing, you say, I don't like the drive rush freeze, and then you've broken, like, every single aspect of the game's balance. You've broken the combos, you've broken neutral, you've broken juggles, you just, like, it's so hard to balance this game. This is why I'm so curious about what Capcom are gonna do with the first balance patch, because so many people offer suggestions, but don't think about how those suggestions kind of snowball into outcomes that screw everything up. Like, the other common one that I see, when people are complaining about drive rush, the other complaint that I see a lot is that drive rush should be 2 bars to make raw drive rush in neutral more expensive. And again, like, that on paper, that seems like a reasonable suggestion, because this is, like, not very expensive right now. But again, you have to think that, like, if you make this 2 bars, you've just broken the combo structure again, because a combo like this That's currently Aki's probably best conversion for corner carry off like medium width. Something like this. Right now, this is a two drive combo. If you made raw drive rush 2 bars, this is now a 4 drive combo and probably not worth going for at all. So like you've completely restructured Aki's like combo routing purely because you found drive rush 2 annoying being 1 bar. So again, like you've got to really think when you're making changes to this game about how many like knock-on effects it'll have. You think you fixed Street Fighter 6 by plugging up one hole, and then 50,000 other holes on your ship suddenly burst open. So it just all it takes really is that you have to be quite delicate. I think you have to make lots of small targeted changes, rather than big sweeping ones like changing the speed of drive rush or changing the cost of drive rush. You have to make little tiny changes. I think more than any previous Street Fighter, this game is built from the ground up around its system mechanics. Like if we compare to Street Fighter 5, the sort of unique mechanics of that game was like V trigger, V skill, V reversal, and later on V shift. But those mechanics don't affect a large chunk of the round. I guess crush counter as well, but crush counters are just like more elaborate versions of counter hits. So like in Street Fighter 5, at round start, you weren't really using the system mechanics very much. Unless your character like used V skill in neutral, which most didn't. Most used it in other ways. You weren't really incorporating that much of the system mechanics in that game. Street Fighter 6, on the other hand, every single decision you make in this game is done through the lens of the drive system. Every combo you do, everything you do to move in neutral, all of your offensive decision making and all of your defensive decision making is about the drive system. Which in some ways is good. It's nice to have such a central system mechanics. But in other ways it's bad because, as I say, it means that so many decisions designed to nerf or tone down one thing break 55 other things.